Beverly Hills, everybody, surveillance videos played a crucial role in identifying the suspect in the shooting death of philanthropist Miss Jacqueline Avant. Joining us now for more on the rise in crime is Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey, retired LAPD sergeant, also author of the Confidence Chronicles, the greatest crime story ever told. Sergeant Dorsey, good morning to you. We always value your perspective and insights.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, one of the things that I know Giselle and I have been talking about on the set here is just how horrifying and how tragic this incident was with Miss Avant. Also, something that's really kind of got me interested, too, to know is this gentleman was out on parole in September. One of the things that the Beverly Hills police chief said was that that really shouldn't have happened. So how does this happen?
Well, listen, I mean, it's our judicial system. And so, some clamor and cry for bail reform and early release and all of that. If you have a very minimal criminal history, you get a slap on the hand. And so this has to change. We hear over and over about the atrocities that are committed, and we don't often hear about the consequences and the penalties, hopefully to deter others who might be copycat or like-minded individuals.
Sergeant, give us some perspective here. Some of the critics are blaming progressive policies around prosecution and sentencing for this uptick in crime. What do you say, and is this a turning point for our state?
Well, I think it's counterproductive to point a finger at any particular person or thing. I think what we need to do is try to figure out how do we overcome it. These are brazen criminals whose tactics are seeming to work, and so they're deploying them over and over again. And I'd rather spend this time telling folks how to be safe, because I think it's imperative that we are our own best witness, our own best advocate. Folks need to be mindful of their surroundings and people walking up on you. There's a saying, when you're out shopping, hide it, lock it, keep it. Don't let anybody know which way you're going when you leave. Change your route of travel and be very concerned and suspicious. A little paranoia might just save your life.
What role do you think the pandemic, Sergeant Dorsey, has played in all this?
I'm not certain that the pandemic has any role to play. I mean, we could pick and point at a number of things. I think it's just that these young people have figured out a way to get property, and it's been successful, seemingly. There doesn't seem to be a consequence. And I promise you, I've heard people say that no bail and low bail has a role to play. Criminals are not concerned about consequences or rules. They're acting because they can.
Sergeant, do you think there was a change where folks from, Black Lives Matter movement said, we're no longer going to stay in our neighborhoods and burn down our neighborhoods. We're going to go to the affluent communities of the Grove and Beverly Hills because they should feel the systemic racism that we feel. Do you think there's an element here finally of breaking that veil?
I don't know if it's because of Black Lives Matter purported, let's go to a more affluent area and commit crimes. These kinds of crimes have been happening regularly around this season. It's Christmas. People are shopping. People are not paying attention. And anytime you create an opportunity, you give a criminal an opportunity to victimize you. And so you have to be aware, pay attention to your surroundings, and maybe even be a little gruff and rude with people who approach you that you don't know.
That's good tips this morning, Sergeant Dorsey. Thank you so much for being with us. Be cautious, be aware, and don't be afraid to maybe be a little bit gruff. I think that's important to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Have a happy holiday, Sergeant. Thank you for lending your expertise with us. Thank you. We hope to have you back.
Yes.